Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
We've got Craig Button, TSN Scouting Director from TSN. Craig, thanks for joining us. How are you, sir? Where have we got you?
In Cabo. I'm in Cabo, San Jose to Cabo.
Yes, I've been there. It's 20 minutes from downtown. That's where all the resorts are. You know that, Rick?
Yeah. Very beautiful, Craig. Very nice.
What a beautiful place.
It was minus 25 when we left Calgary yesterday. So a little bit different weather here now. I can wear my shorts and my flip-flops.
We were just talking about Loui Eriksson officially retiring, and he had a good run until he came to Vancouver. What were your thoughts in 2016, though, when the Canucks came up with that signing?
Well, it was interesting. I mean, you look back in time, and Louis's career was not on the upward trend, shall we say? It was clearly on the downward trend. But he had played in Boston, right? And Jim had some intimate knowledge and some strong feelings about where he could help the Vancouver Canucks. But Louis was a good player until he wasn't. And when he wasn't a good player, it fell off pretty quick for Louis. And then ultimately with that, the Vancouver Canucks, with the salary and, then trying to rid themselves of the salary, there was a lot of things that they had to unwind from that signing. It was interesting. And I've heard this a few times now from managers around the league, and I concur with them, is that, we can get there on dollars. We got to figure out that we don't lock ourselves into too much term. And I think more and more, there's a lot of talk about, well, not a lot of talk, the cap, the payroll range has been declared, certainly for the next 3 seasons, but you still got to be careful with term, because once a player starts to fall off in play and you're paying them an amount of money not commensurate with what his contributions are, you're in trouble.
Four Nations tournament, Craig, starting tomorrow. I'm sure you're aware of it, although I don't know, maybe you're not there in Cabo. I'm not sure. But Canada versus Sweden, we were discussing this earlier. Do you think this will be a physical tournament? How much hitting do you think there'll be?
It's a good question, Donnie, in this regard. The way the NHL is played now, it's more about contact and physical one-on-one battles than there is this big effort to, kind of soften up an opponent. We're going to play physical and we're going to grind them down. Now, heavy, hard hockey is still important, holding the puck on the boards, being able to play in the one-on-one battles and compete for the puck. But I think a big part of it is you cannot, the players are quick and the puck moves fast. And so being able to play a physical brand of hockey, I don't think it's the same template that it once was. I think you got to play hard in the small areas, and I think players will. But this idea that you're going to be running players down and giving this big, robust, physical style of play, players aren't conditioned like that in the NHL. So why would it get like that in international play? And I think that there's going to be intensity. There's going to be a lot of really good, hard play. I just don't see these big thundering hits and big physical play being a big part of the template, because it's not currently now. It's not the same. It's not like that in the NHL.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Craig, you are allowed to make trades at the Four Nations. General managers are allowed. What's your gut feeling about trades taking place here during the Four Nations?
Well, Aiden Hill is going to be traded for Logan Thompson. Oh, sorry, you're talking.
Nice one. I like that.
I could have picked any one of the 3 goaltenders to be traded, so I'm not trying to pick on Aiden or anything, right? I think that now, I think what's really good for the managers and the NHL teams now is you're not caught up in the specter of your own team playing. And that can cloud your vision positively, negatively. So I think now with the teams just being able to take a step back, trying to evaluate what they want to do, I think we'll see some trades. I do think we'll see some trades. But I think that what we'll see is after the Four Nations, a flurry, because I think teams will be ready, set, go. Yeah. And I think this period of time here really gets them in that ready mode, and then they can start to really have those conversations with the other managers and understand, what it means. I also believe, too, that there's some teams now that have clearly fallen out of the playoff picture. And I think that becomes really important for the teams that are trying to buy. And if you want to sell your players and try to get maximum value, now's the time to try to do that. If you keep lingering, the market now, more players show up on the market. I think in a constrained market with less supply and maybe a little bit more demand, you can exact a higher price.
Hey, Craig, we had Pat Brisson on the show yesterday. Quinn Hughes elected not to go to the Four Nations. He's got the injury, the oblique, but also he needs the time off. He's captain of the Canucks. What'd you think of his decision?
I think it's Quinn is a leader. He's a leader of himself, and you can't be a leader of others till you're a leader of yourself. Nobody's going to ever question Quinn Hughes' competitive fire and his willingness to help a team, whatever team he's on. So that's number one. Number two is that he wants to ensure that he doesn't put himself or the Vancouver Canucks at risk. It's exactly what Alex Pietrangelo said about not playing for Canada. He said, the Vegas Golden Knights pay my salary, and right now I need this time to get myself as best prepared to help the Vegas Golden Knights be successful when we come back from the Four Nations. That's exactly the thinking that Quinn Hughes has. Yes, Team USA will miss Quinn Hughes in a real significant way, but at the same time, Quinn is going to make decisions that are right, not just for himself, but right for the team. And I think this is just another example of his tremendous leadership.
And Craig, you are a TSN scouting director. Boston University wins the Beanpot, big win over Boston College. Tom Wielander gets an assist in that game, a primary assist. You've got him ranked number 14. This was last week on your top 50 NHL-affiliated prospects list. What can you tell Canuck fans about his development? He looked pretty good yesterday.
Yeah, well, he's a good player, and he's a player that plays with a real significant amount of brains and competitive fire, and he's got good skills. I'm gonna just say this to Vancouver Canucks fans: when you watch the USA play, watch Charlie McAvoy and watch Brock Faber. Because to me, that is who Tommy Wielander is. So what is that player? That's a rock-solid pillar defenseman that helps you win. And I think that Tommy is going to be all of that and more for the Vancouver Canucks. I thought it was a fabulous pick at the time. I don't think anything less of the pick. And they also have Lekaramaki, too, who's right there. Two really good prospects that are going to come in and I think make a real discernible difference to the fortunes of the Vancouver Canucks in a positive manner.
I was going to say have a good time, but like I said earlier, I've been where you are right now. You're going to have a good time. all the best, Craig.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you next Tuesday. We'll have lots to talk about. 3 games under our belts, and we'll see who's in the final of the Four Nations.
Awesome. Thanks, Craig. Talk to you next week.
Thanks.